From Khalil Dewan. He is the head of legal investigations at the international human rights law firm Stoke White. He joins us now live from London. Welcome to the programme. What do you think the killing of Ayman Al Zawahri means from a human rights point of view now for victims 20 years after 9/11?
Thank you very much for having me. Yes, this is a complex matter, of course, under international law. And it's also very much a reflective point for the Biden administration with regards to the US drone program and its overall counterterrorism strategy moving forward in Afghanistan. And I think, we've had 20 years of drone strikes and assassinations around the world in Pakistan, Somalia, and Yemen. This isn't anything new. However, the context is very different. Afghanistan is no longer in an armed conflict situation. It's in a post-conflict situation. There is a Doha agreement in place, and there are some terms to that. And it's really important because the US administration and its interpretation of human rights law and international law and targeted killings deems that it can indeed execute drone strikes anywhere around the world, and it believes the world is a battlefield, which is highly problematic. The US administration and interpretation of the law has always to be push the boundaries of the law. And we see this, around the world. And whilst the killing of Zawahri has already taken place, it has been alleged that there has been no civilian casualties. But we must remember that, the incident has been investigated. And from my experience of investigating drone strikes for over a decade now, I can tell you that it takes time to look into this.
And sorry to interrupt, Khalil, this was done with extreme precision. I understand he was on his balcony in his personal home when it happened.
Indeed. But I think the most important factor to play here is that this is a post-conflict situation where there is an agreement taking place where the Taliban should get on with their life effectively and their governance. But when the US is effectively has a rifle in the sky hovering around 24/7, then we need to look at the definitions of an armed conflict. Is the armed conflict continuing or not? And these are the immediate discussions the Taliban administration needs to think about.
Sorry to interrupt, Khalid. From the other point of view, this was the number 2 Al-Qaeda leader, considered to be Osama bin Laden's right-hand man. I don't know. I mean, this is a question for you. How relevant was he still? Was this simply symbolic? So this is an important factor, this killing.
It certainly is. And last year, the August 29th strike, I would like to remind everyone that that was also a symbolic strike for the US. And they called it the righteous strike, which turned the great mistake within a few hours because they killed their own people and civilians. But we must remember that I'm not really sure whether justice has actually been done here, because I would have rather seen this person being in court. I would have rather him gone through a trial. And this is what international law necessitates, because the fact remains under the law, Afghanistan is not within an armed conflict situation. The problem is that the world is a battlefield for the US, and this conduct is very concerning.
Khalil Dewan, great to have you on the programme. Thank you so much for your analysis and your time today. Appreciate it.